Does your app or organization have sensitive information and needs to be secured and shared across various departments? Stay tuned to this series of DLP on Google Cloud. Securing data is a two-step process. First step is to identify which part of the data has sensitive information, and later we need to decide if we want to perform encryption or masking before sharing it with rest of the organization. This is the first part in this series where we will talk about identification of this sensitive data. So for this demonstration we are going to do a few things. What we have is a GCS bucket with two files. I'm going to show you how to create an inspect template and then kick off an inspection job that's going to tell us which files might have some sensitive information in them. In the second part, I will show you how to create de-identification template and then use it to create an identical dataset in BigQuery with the encryption applied to some sensitive fields. Finally, in the third part, I will show you how to mask that data. Even though the data is available in its original form, you can mask it based on security policies. Now, without further ado, let's head over to my laptop and check how it is done. So I have a GCS bucket with some data, specifically two files. Those files have credit card information and email address in them. So what we are going to start with is a DLP inspection template. Creating inspection template is pretty simple. You need to go to data loss prevention page, click on configuration and create template. And here you will choose either an inspection template or de-identification template. We will go for inspect for now. Okay, let's call our template inspection and use the same name in the description. Alright, hit continue. And now here's the part where we can choose what info types we actually want to inspect for. I'm just going to go for, since we already saw that we have a credit card number and email address, let's add them both. Boom, added. And then here we choose confidence threshold and likelihood. This is basically what is possibility of selected info types can occur in our data inside our bucket. Give that a second. Alright, so here is our inspection template. And here are our two info types that we are looking for. And the likelihood right there. So our template is ready. Now we can go back to data loss prevention page, click on inspection and click on create job or job trigger. Alright. So the cool thing about DLP is that you can make it inspect on a schedule. So we will call this our weekly inspection. And what are we going to inspect? It's going to be a Google Cloud Storage because we have already set that up. And you can see that you can also select BigQuery, Cloud Data Store and so on. Alright, we will just enter our bucket name. We are not going to do any sampling because we have very limited data. But if you have very large data set, then you might consider sampling because more files it scans, longer the job is going to take and more resources is going to consume and more expensive it will be. And now we choose our template. We only have one template created, so it's going to auto-populate with that organization. This is the first part in this series where we will talk about identification of this sensitive data and click continue. And now here are actions that you want to do with your job. We are going to select export it to BigQuery. Let's put in our project name, which is Bespin US demo. Then our dataset. I have created this dataset ahead of this demo, so you might consider creating that in the first place. You can perform other actions if you need, like pubs up and so on, but as of now we are not going to do that. And here you can choose when you want to run it. So you can run it daily, weekly or custom. As we have already named it weekly, so we will keep it weekly. And hit continue. And that's going to give us a recap of our job configuration in a JSON format. Scroll down past that, we are going to hit create and then we are going to click confirm. So now it's creating that trigger. Since it's a weekly one, it's not running it. We will just hit run now, and there you go. Our weekly inspection is now running. Inspection job could take some time, and it depends on how big your data set and how many info types you have selected. Okay, so we must see now how our job went. We can go back to our data loss prevention page. Under inspect job, there it is. Click that, and this is pretty much the recap of how job went. So you'll find that there are some findings out there, thousands of findings. If you want more information for each finding, then we can head over to BigQuery and see details for those findings. So these are all the fields associated with each finding that it made in your data. So I'll show you a quick query. We are going to do select certain fields from that table. That's something wrong, but yeah, here you go. The query is now running, and then you can see what sensitive data might be in there. It actually made an entry for each finding in that database. So for example, you will see that both files containing email and other containing credit card are here. An inspection job is a great way to find out your data might have any sensitive value in it. In my next video, which is going to be a second part on this series, I will talk about de-identification using DLP. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.